would in fact face the justice in India. My colleague Divya, meanwhile, spoke with one of the 2611 survivors. Listen in.
Let's just go across to Devika Rotwan, the survivor of the 2611 attack. Thank you so much for talking to us here on NDTV. The day has finally come when the mastermind is on a plane. He's being brought back to India. How would you describe this moment? आप इस moment को कैसे describe कर पाएंगे?
जी मैम, इस मोमेंट को मैं बहुत खुशी से सुन रही हूँ कि इसे लाया जा रहा है भारत। तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, हमारी इंडिया की बहुत बड़ी जीत है। तो मैं यही चाहती हूँ कि उसे भारत लाया जाए और उसे सारी इंफॉर्मेशन हमारे देश को मिले कि आज भी पाकिस्तान में कितने आतंकवाद छुप के बैठे हैं और 2611 के टाइम पे इन्होंने कैसे क्या प्लानिंग की थी और क्यों किया था, क्या मकसद था इनका पूरा, वो सभी शायद आज सामने आ सकती है बात पे।
बिल्कुल देविका, अगर आप हमारे साथ शेयर करेंगे जो ऑर्डील आप यू हैव बीन थ्रू पिछले 17 सालों में, इट मस्ट हैव बीन एक्सट्रीमली हार्ड टू पुट दोज स्कैरी मेमोरीज बिहाइंड एंड टू मूव ऑन. Have those memories been haunting you for years altogether, and will this sort of bring about some sort of closure? Will it help you deal with the situation a lot better?
मैम 26/11 को 16 साल हो गए, बट अभी तक वो यादें मेरे नजर से कभी भूली नहीं है और ना ही मैं उस बात को भूल सकती हूँ कभी, ना ही मैं भुला भी पाऊंगी मैम। और ये सारी न्यूज देखकर तभी एक बात ये होती है कि बस उससे जल्द से लाया जाए, या कोई भी आतंकवादी हो उसे सिर्फ सजा फांसी होनी चाहिए। आज भी पाकिस्तान में बैठ के आतंकवाद बढ़ावा दे रहे, क्या नहीं पता हमें कि 26/11 के बाद फिर से कोई हमला हो गया। आज भी कहीं ना कहीं ऐसा लगता है कि शायद फिर कोई आतंकवादी आ गया, फिर कुछ हो गया। तो अब तक कोई श्योरिटी तो नहीं है ना कि 2611 के बाद की कभी कोई हमला ही नहीं हो सकता है।
आपको मानसिक तौर से जो ये मेमोरीज हैं जो आपके दिमाग से कभी जा नहीं सकेंगी, बट आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी को, गवर्नमेंट को कितना थैंक करना चाहेंगी कि फाइनली तहव्वुर राना, द मास्टरमाइंड बिहाइंड द अटैक, वो फाइनली इंडिया लेके आ रहे हैं?
जी, मैं उन्हें बहुत धन्यवाद कहना चाहती हूँ कि वो ये सब कर रही है। बहुत बड़ी जीत है हमारी इंडिया के लिए और आतंकवाद का खत्म होना चालू हो चुका है अभी।
बिल्कुल देविका, ऑफ कोर्स हम बहुत थैंकफुल है गवर्नमेंट के लिए। इंडियन गवर्नमेंट भी नहीं, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स गवर्नमेंट का भी बहुत रोल रहा है इसमें। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने एश्योरेंस दी है कि उसकी वजह से ये केस अभी तक जो जहां पर पहुंचा है, तहव्वुर राना एक फ्लाइट में है, वो इंडिया आने वाले हैं। आप किस सॉर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस की एक्सपेक्टेशन कर रहे हैं?
मैं जस्टिस यही चाहती हूँ कि मैम उसे फांसी की सजा हो और पाकिस्तान में जो आज भी बैठे हुए उन लोगों का चेहरा सामने आए जो आतंकवाद को पाल रहे और आतंकवाद को बढ़ावा दे रहे।
With the United States, 26% reciprocal tariffs on Indian goods have taken full effect Wednesday. Exporters of high-value cargo, including smartphones, engineering goods and automotive parts, were scrambling to ensure these goods are shipped out before the new rates are applied. Meanwhile, 104% duties on imports from China also took effect shortly after midnight, even as the administration of President Donald Trump moved to quickly start talks with other trading partners targeted by sweeping tariffs. Now, amid US President Donald Trump's tariff war, Beijing has said that both India and China, the two largest developing countries, should stand together to overcome the difficulties. Listen in.
Our average tariff on agricultural goods is 5%, but India's average tariff is 39%. You understand the trend here. Our trade deficit, driven by these non-reciprocal conditions, is a manifestation of the loss of the nation's ability to make, to grow, to build.
US President Donald Trump on Tuesday claimed the country is collecting $2 billion per day from tariffs, but government data indicates that the actual figure is far lower. Yes, but Donald Trump has once again defended his aggressive trade policies, claiming that the US is now pouring in billions of dollars from newly implemented tariffs on foreign imports. Speaking from the East Room of the White House while signing a series of executive orders, another series of executive orders promoting the coal industry, Trump took time to address his sweeping tariffs on trading partners, which took effect on over 60 countries at the stroke of midnight on the 9th of April. In remarks delivered to a crowd of lawmakers, cabinet members, industry executives, and even coal miners, Trump described the impact of the tariffs as somewhat explosive, but insisted they were vital for his vision for revitalizing American industry. Here's what Trump said.
We're making a fortune with tariffs, $2 billion a day. Do you believe it? I was told $2 billion a day. You know, I get hit by the press about tariffs. We're making $2 billion. This isn't 35 million, that's peanuts. $2 billion a day. And then they say, gee, they don't know. You know, this is only the enemy can be talking this way. In addition, we have a lot of countries coming to see us that want to make a deal.
A horrific tragedy has struck the Dominican Republic, where at least 66 people have been killed after the roof of a popular nightclub, in fact, collapsed in Santo Domingo. The jet-set nightclub was packed for a concert by merengue star Robbie Perez when disaster struck around 1 a.m. local time. Among the dead is former Major League Baseball player Octavio Dotel, who died on the way to hospital. Also confirmed dead is Provincial Governor Nelsie Cruz, sister, in fact, of baseball star Nelson Cruz. Over 150 others have been injured, and hundreds of rescue workers are still searching the rubble for survivors. Meanwhile, President Abinader has expressed his condolences to the grieving families. In the U.S., 3 people were killed and 3 others injured in a mass shooting in Virginia on Tuesday evening. The incident occurred at a townhouse complex in Spotsylvania County, southwest of Washington, D.C. Police have said multiple agencies are assisting in the manhunt, but no arrests have been made so far. The injured, meanwhile, have been hospitalized, though their condition remains unknown. On the other hand, authorities have urged the public to avoid the area as investigations continue. Now, worryingly, this marks another grim chapter in America's ongoing gun violence crisis. Listen in.
At this point, we received a call, multiple calls at 5:30 p.m. from the area of Old Greenwich Circle, which is in Spotsylvania County, in reference to multiple shots that were fired. Upon deputies' arrival, they found multiple gunshot victims. 3 of the victims were confirmed deceased on scene. 3 other victims were transported to local hospitals. It is still a very fluid scene. Multiple investigators are still there trying to determine who the suspects were and what the motive is. At this point in time, I don't know that we have any suspects in custody. So we're asking the public to please stay clear of the area, let the investigators do their job, and stay inside their homes.
2 British teenagers have been found guilty of the manslaughter of 80-year-old Bhim Kohli, who was racially abused and attacked while walking his dog in a park near Leicester. The 15-year-old boy punched, kicked and slapped Kohli, breaking his neck and ribs. Meanwhile, a 13-year-old girl filmed the assault and could be heard laughing. The attack was described in court as senseless and gratuitous. Kohli died the next day in hospital. His family said they're devastated, in fact haunted by the video, and still struggling to cope with the loss. Meanwhile, the accused boy remains in custody. The girl is out on bail. Sentencing will take place on the 20th of May. Listen in.
Our home feels so empty without him and will never be the same. Every time my mum opens the front door, she thinks about what happened to her husband. Listening to the enormity of what happened, what Dad was subjected to, will never leave us. We feel angry and disgust towards the teenagers who took Dad away from us. They humiliated him. An 80-year-old man assaulted him, filmed it and laughed at him. Dad did not deserve this, and we wouldn't wish this on anyone else.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chaired a high-level India-UK investor roundtable in London, engaging with around 60 UK-based investors from pension funds to banks and even insurance firms. The finance minister, in fact, outlined New Delhi's policy priorities for long-term economic growth, highlighting reforms aimed at, in fact, reducing compliance burdens and also improving the ease of doing business. Now, Sitharaman also pitched India as a major destination for foreign investment in banking and insurance, with the country, in fact, projected to become the world's 6th largest insurance market by 2032. Sitharaman is in the UK for the 13th India-UK Economic and Financial Dialogue, where she will also hold bilateral talks with Chancellor Rachel Reeves. 3 Israeli hostages freed from Gaza joined US President Donald Trump on stage, in fact, at a Republican fundraising event in Washington. Now, the dinner hosted by the National Republican Congressional Committee comes as Israel's war in Gaza enters its 18th month. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, over 50,000 Palestinians have been killed in war so far. The war began with Hamas's October 7 attack that killed 1,200 people in Israel and took 251 others hostages. The militant group still holds 59 captives, with 24 believed to be alive. Now, Trump praised, in fact, the freed hostages and reiterated his support for Israel. Here's what he said.
And they said, well, of the 59, 24 are living, the rest are dead. I just heard that. And I was told that before by somebody else. But 24 are living, the rest are dead. These are young people, largely young people. Young people don't die. Young people are killed, they don't die. But the conditions were so horrible.
And the Panama Canal is back at the center of U.S.-China tensions. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has vowed to take back the century-old canal and push back against China's growing influence in the region. Speaking in Panama, Hegseth accused Beijing of threatening the canal's integrity and, in fact, using infrastructure to spy on the U.S. He said the U.S. will not let a communist China weaponize the waterway. Meanwhile, Beijing has hit back sharply, denying any involvement in canal operations and accusing Washington of blackmailing and plundering. Now, the ports at both ends of the canal are operated by a Hong Kong-based firm whose parent company recently agreed to sell them to the U.S. Firm BlackRock, a move now under antitrust review in China. Panama, meanwhile, has started auditing the port operator and has already pulled out of China's Belt and Road project. Listen in to what Hegseth said.
And today, the Panama Canal faces ongoing threats. The United States of America will not allow communist China or any other country to threaten the canal's operation or integrity. To this end, the United States and Panama have done more in recent weeks to strengthen our defense and security cooperation than we have in decades. President Molino's decision to withdraw from the Belt and Road Initiative reflects his government's clear understanding of China and the threat it poses.
A sharp public clash has erupted between Elon Musk and U.S. trade advisor Peter Navarro. Now, Musk, who leads the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, under President Trump, fired back after Navarro downplayed Tesla's manufacturing claims. In fact, in an interview, Navarro told Tesla assembles cars but doesn't make them. Now, Musk hit back on X, calling Navarro a moron and saying that his comments were demonstrably false. He cited data showing Tesla has the highest percentage of US-made parts. The White House, meanwhile, brushed off the feud, saying that the two have very different views and that boys will be boys. Meanwhile, concerns are growing among businesses and business leaders about Trump's tariffs, which Musk says could disrupt the US economy. And over in South Korea, opposition leader Lee Jae-myung has stepped down from his post, fueling further speculation about his bid for the presidency. Now, Lee, who narrowly lost the 2022 election, is currently leading in public opinion polls. South Korea, for perspective, heads to polls on the 3rd of June following the impeachment of former President Yoon Suk-yeol. While Lee hasn't officially announced his candidacy, his resignation is being seen as a major signal. Meanwhile, Labour Minister Kim Moon-soon has confirmed his entry into the presidential race as well, and in fact, he's vowed to boost US ties and push for Seoul's right to reprocess nuclear fuel. And with that, it's time we slip into a short break. I'll see you on the other side.
With Post Office Over 50's life cover, enjoy peace of mind knowing your family will receive a guaranteed payout when you're gone. UK resident 50 to 80, your guaranteed acceptance. No health checks and from just £1.15 a week. Plus free 24/7 GP access with the health and wellbeing benefit. Purchase and receive a £125 gift card for amazon.co.uk, Tesco or M&S. Call Post Office on 0800 171 2211.
Hey, look at our Simply Safe home security system.
Let's install it.
We need another camera.
What for?
The collectibles. What?
Now you've got a camera each.
Yay!
Systems start from under £200 when you buy a professional monitoring plan. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
This poor creature is a lion, trapped in a cold, bare cage, alone. Terribly malnourished, just skin and bone. How can anyone simply leave a lion to rot and die? Right now, there are thousands of big cats suffering the same torment. Languishing in cruel cages, neglected, abandoned, left to die. Will you help Four Paws free big cats suffering around the world right now? Please call 0800 035 7798, text RESCUE to 70544, or go online and give just £3 a month. Help Four Paws cut the bars and rescue these cats from their prisons. Help us take them to our sanctuaries where they can begin to recover. You'll be setting big cats free from pain and protecting them from cruelty, letting them see the blue sky above and breathe the clean, fresh air of freedom for the first time. But they are the lucky ones. Please call 0800 035 7798, text RESCUE to 70544 to give £3 a month via your mobile phone. Because if no one cuts the bars and frees these big cats, they will die trapped and alone.
Wouldn't life be so much easier if you could control your blinds at the touch of a button? With Ultra Smart Blinds from Appeal, there's no chains, cords or wiring, because these stylish blinds are driven by a rechargeable power pack. New Ultra Smart Blinds from Appeal, the intelligent solution for home shading.
Goldbank London, your #1 place for buying and selling gold. Visit goldbank.co.uk or call 0203 500 1111.
Welcome back. You're watching The World Report. I'm Arjun, Samar, Mahendran. All to the world of business now. The FBI is investigating damage to a Tesla supercharger station in Washington's Lacey area. Now, the news comes after residents reported a loud noise, possibly an explosion, early Tuesday. The incident is in a latest of a series of anti-Tesla vandalism acts. Some are calling it domestic terrorism, while President Donald Trump is vowing punishment. Meanwhile, Musk's polarizing political views have drawn protests globally. Tesla's sales have also taken a hit, raising concerns among investors at this time as well. Sticking with Musk, Elon Musk's ex, formerly Twitter, has reached a deal to potentially drop Twitch from its lawsuit over an alleged boycott. Now, X sued Twitch and others last year, claiming that they conspired to withhold ad revenue. Now, a MOU has been signed. Twitch could be off the hook if certain conditions are met by year end. Meanwhile, X has already dropped Unilever from the case, but CVS, Pinterest and Colgate remained named defendants. Brazil's telecom regulator Anatel, in fact, has approved 7,500 additional Starlink satellites to operate in the country. Now, this is more than doubling the 4,408 previously allowed. Elon Musk SpaceX is also getting expanded frequency band access through its operational permit, still expires in 2027. Now, despite the green light, the regulator has warned that Brazil's space laws need updating to address digital sovereignty, market dominance, and even space sustainability. The company hasn't responded publicly yet. South Korea's Kia has scaled down its 2030 EV sales goal from a 1.6 million to 1.26 million units. The automaker is also targeting close to 1 million hybrid car sales by the same year. Now, Kia cited growing uncertainty over US policy on EVs as a key reason for the division. The announcement comes as part of the company's presentation to investors, reflecting the shifting realities in the global auto markets. Meanwhile, Taiwan's Foxconn wants to work with Nissan on electric vehicles, though no talks are underway as yet. The company's EV strategy chief told Nikkei that partnering with Japanese automakers, especially Nissan, could give Foxconn an edge. The company is already close to sealing a deal with supply EVs to Mitsubishi and is reportedly also aiming for a broader four-way partnership with Nissan, Mitsubishi and Honda. Foxconn, known for making iPhones and NVIDIA servers, wants to go big on EV manufacturing next. And the world of sports, a dramatic finish in Munich as Inter Milan beat Bayern 2-1 in the Champions League quarter-final first leg. David Fratelli's 88-minute goal sealed the victory, handling Bayern their first, in fact, home UCL loss since 2021. Minnesota Twins pitcher Pablo Lopez tweaked his hamstring and left the field during last night's games against Kansas City Royals. Now, the 29-year-old exited after a quick chat with his trainer. The Twin went on to lose the game 2-1. But manager Rocco Baldelli has said that the injury isn't serious and no changes are planned for upcoming fixtures. Scary scenes during the Memphis Grizzlies game against Charlotte Hornets. Rookie forward Jaden Wells broke his right wrist after a hard fall when Hornets guard KJ Simpson, in fact, upended him midair. The game was stopped for 23 whole minutes. Wells' father has said that the player also suffered pain in his face, jaw, and back. And Tom Cruise is returning to the Cannes Film Festival for the premiere of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. The film will screen out of competition on the 14th of May, with Cruise and director Christopher McQuarrie attending. Now, this marks Cruise's third Cannes appearance. In the latest and final installment of the franchise, Cruise reprises his iconic role as Ethan Hunt, wrapping up one of Hollywood's most successful action series franchises to date. John Hamm, Amanda Peet and Olivia Munn walked the red carpet in New York for the premiere of their new Apple TV Plus series, Your Friends and Neighbors. Hamm stars as a hedge fund manager who, in fact, turns to robbing his wealthy neighbors to keep up appearances. The cast also includes Mark Tolman. Apple has already greenlit a second season as well. Hollywood stars turned out in force for a night of serious fun in New York. A special fundraiser, in fact, celebrating what would have been Paul Newman's 100th birthday. Tom Hanks, Adam Driver, Paul Rudd, and others joined the event, which included performances and comedy sketches as well. The evening supported Serious Fun, a global network of camps and programs. Newman founded in 1988 for children with serious illnesses. Newman's daughter says the organization has now served 2 million children and families around the world. The San Diego Zoo has a new resident, an 8-year-old fishing cat named Miso Chi. He arrived, in fact, from the Denver Zoo and has already started exploring his new habitat. Known for their love of water, fishing cats are native to Southeast Asia and are listed as vulnerable. Experts have warned that over 50% of the region's wetlands are disappearing due to human activity, endangering species like the Mizo Shi. Zoo officials describe him as smart, confident, and quick to adapt. Well, that's all we have for you today. Take care and have a wonderful day.
Please, can you send someone out? The poor thing is so skinny, I don't think he can walk.
Okay, let me take an address.
Today, the RSPCA will answer over 2,000 calls about animal cruelty and neglect.
It's just completely unacceptable, isn't it, mate?
Today, we will need to take over 100 animals into our care. Today, we urgently need your help to save them. Please call 0800 121 4230. Every minute of every day, animals are suffering heartbreaking cruelty and neglect. A gift of just £2 a month will help us do even more. Answer more calls, rescue more innocent animals and provide more life-saving treatments. But today, animals are suffering terrible abuse and neglect. Help us save them. Today, please call 0800 121 4230 or text TODAY to 80039 and give £2 a month. Thank you.
Because your brain really matters.
Basis points to 6% with immediate effect. Consequently, the standing deposit facility, the STF rate under the liquidity adjustment facility shall stand adjusted to 5.75%, and the marginal standing facility rate, or the MSF rate, and the bank rate shall stand adjusted to 6.25%.
The RBI's first monetary policy for the new financial year, and the key highlights really for our viewers to understand. Now, the RBI has cut the key lending rate by 25 basis points to 6%. What does that mean for you, the viewer, the customer sitting at home? Well, it essentially means that if the banks pass on these lower borrowing costs to consumers at large, your EMIs, your monthly EMIs, whether it's for auto or realty, your home loans, your auto loans, all could get cheaper if indeed these lower rates are passed on. Now, the RBI Monetary Policy Committee has also changed their stance to accommodative from neutral earlier. Now, what does this change in stance really mean? It means that going forward, there will be, absent of any shocks, the MPC will consider only two options. One, that of status quo, or a rate cut. So this is very crucial going forward as far as their policy stance is concerned, really. Now, what really else did the RBI governor say and highlight? Well, they did say that, look, retail inflation for FY26 is projected at 4%. GDP growth, remember, and that's crucial, the estimate for GDP growth has been cut by 20 basis points for FY26. And why has this really happened? This has happened because growth projection has been cut due to policy and trade uncertainties.
Thank you, Sakshi, for getting us those details. Let's just switch tracks now to Instagram users under the age of 16 won't be able to live stream or unblur nudity in direct messages they've received without parental approval. This is really what the owner, Meta Platforms, has to say as it widens its safety measures for teenagers. The social media company has also said that it was extending safeguards for users under 18 to Facebook as well as Messenger. Meta launched its teen account program for Instagram users in September of last year to give parents more options to supervise their children's online activity amid a growing backlash against how social media affects the lives of young people. To know more on this, we have our guests joining us, and we have Abhishek Asthana, the founder of Ginger Monkey, joining us. We also have Anubha Srivastav Sahai, President India. This is in regard to India-wide Parents Association lawyer and child rights activist. Thank you so much for speaking with us here on the broadcast. Anubha, over to you first. You know, these measures that are being introduced as far as Instagram, Facebook, Messenger are concerned, how helpful is this going to be? And this is really coming at the time, really on the heels of a Netflix show that's gaining massive popularity on such issues such as, you know, the show is called Adolescence. You know, we can't help but talk about the timing of this, which has really highlighted the perils when it comes to social media and, you know, the concerns that are being raised by parents across the globe.
Thank you for having me on this show. And see, it's a good move, no doubt, because some countries are trying to put regulation as far as the social media is concerned. Though in India it is not happening because the High Court has given some instructions, some guidelines as far as the use of social media and mobile gadgets are concerned in school premises with parental consent. So the company, if the service provider itself, if they are taking such stand, then definitely it is going to help the students at large. Many parents are not aware, many parents are not tech friendly. Many parents are not aware that their children are using Instagram, and there are so many other social platforms where kids are engaging with a lot of activities which they are not even aware. They are very innocent. They are getting trapped with so many things which is happening in social media around the world. So this is a good move, definitely, with parental concern. The children will be allowed to use the gadgets and all the social media platform. That will definitely help the larger community.
Right, Abhishek, these teen accounts will also be available on Facebook and Messenger. Much needed step in the right direction to limit inappropriate content and unwanted contact, as well as ways to ensure that teenagers spend more time. Their time is well spent. But can the kids